How do you prevent an autonomous AI from causing a catastrophic legal and public relations disaster for your enterprise? In this lesson, you will learn how to architect strict algorithmic governance and mathematically manage the inherent risks of generative models. Welcome to the final session of the AI Vanguard Masterclass, where we transition from scalable deployment to rigorous operational compliance. By now, your enterprise possesses the architectural blueprints to deploy multimodal, autonomous multi-agent frameworks connected to your proprietary databases. However, the exact mechanism that makes generative AI so powerful, its probabilistic cognitive reasoning, also makes it inherently unpredictable and potentially dangerous. Unlike legacy deterministic software, an AI agent does not follow a strict code path. It generates responses based on statistical likelihoods. This probabilistic nature introduces two severe enterprise vulnerabilities that must be systematically mitigated: algorithmic bias and factual hallucinations. Let us first address algorithmic bias. AI models do not possess human prejudice, but they are trained on massive human datasets. These datasets inevitably contain historical biases, systemic operational errors, and statistical imbalances that the neural network learns and amplifies. If you deploy an autonomous agent to screen employee resumes, and the historical data favors a specific demographic, the AI automates that bias. If a financial multi-agent system uses biased historical logic to deny corporate loans, your enterprise faces immediate legal and reputational ruin. Algorithmic bias is not merely an ethical oversight. It is a critical mathematical failure that corrupts your digital transformation strategy. The second vulnerability is the widely documented AI hallucination, where the model generates highly plausible but entirely factually incorrect information. Hallucinations are not software glitches. They are the natural result of an engine designed to predict the next logical token without sufficient grounding. While we mitigate this using the retrieval augmented generation architectures discussed previously, no system is completely immune to logical drift. Therefore, managing these risks requires the implementation of a comprehensive algorithmic governance framework across your entire corporate IT infrastructure. Governance cannot be a legal afterthought applied right before product launch. It must be a core architectural requirement from day one. The first step is establishing an internal AI ethics and compliance board consisting of cross-functional leaders from IT, legal, and human resources. This board is responsible for defining the strict operational boundaries, acceptable risk thresholds, and ethical guidelines for all autonomous agents. Architecturally, you must implement robust technical guardrails, beginning with strict input filtering to defend against malicious prompt injection attacks. A prompt injection occurs when a user intentionally feeds the AI confusing logic to bypass its security protocols and extract restricted data. You must also engineer output filtering layers, utilizing secondary, smaller language models to automatically audit the primary agent's responses in real time. If the secondary model detects toxic vocabulary, biased logic, or non-compliant corporate advice, it instantly blocks the output and alerts human operators. Furthermore, you must continuously audit the data within your vector databases to ensure your RAG pipelines are not retrieving obsolete documents. If your internal corporate knowledge base contains systemic errors, your perfectly engineered autonomous agent will confidently execute those exact errors at scale. To proactively identify vulnerabilities, enterprise technical teams must engage in rigorous red teaming, a practice adopted from advanced cybersecurity protocols. Red teaming involves authorizing your own security engineers to ethically hack and manipulate your AI systems to expose hidden biases or security flaws. You must break your own cognitive engines in a controlled laboratory environment before a threat actor or a paying customer does it in production. Another critical pillar of algorithmic governance is transparency and explainability, particularly in highly regulated industries like healthcare or global finance. When an AI agent makes a complex operational decision, you must be able to logically trace and explain exactly how it reached that conclusion. Black box algorithms that offer no mathematical transparency are completely unacceptable in enterprise environments facing strict regulatory compliance audits. You must implement tracking architectures that log every single API call, database query, and prompt iteration generated by your autonomous agents. If an autonomous system reroutes a global supply chain, executive leadership must be able to audit the specific data points that triggered that action. This granular transparency is essential for debugging multi-agent reasoning loops and proving regulatory compliance to external government auditors. Furthermore, you must establish clear fallback protocols, ensuring that if the cognitive engine fails, the system safely reverts to standard deterministic software. Additionally, corporate AI deployment must rigidly adhere to international data privacy regulations, such as GDPR in Europe and CCA in California. You must implement automated data anonymization protocols to ensure personally identifiable information is stripped before it ever reaches the cloud embedding model. Feeding unencrypted customer data into a public language model API is a catastrophic violation of global privacy laws and corporate trust. Finally, the ultimate fail-safe in any algorithmic governance strategy is enforcing the mandatory human-in-the-loop requirement for all high-stakes enterprise decisions. Autonomous agents are incredibly powerful tools for synthesizing data, drafting strategies, and recommending actions at unprecedented computational speeds. However, the artificial intelligence recommends the strategy. The human executive authorizes the execution and accepts the ultimate legal responsibility. We must leverage the speed of the machine while relying on the nuanced ethical judgment and contextual awareness of the human operator. By engineering these strict governance protocols, you transform generative AI from an unpredictable liability into a secure, compliant, and massive strategic asset. You protect your brand's reputation, ensure strict legal compliance, and build trust with your global client base and corporate stakeholders. Algorithmic governance is not about restricting technological innovation. It is about providing the secure operational runway necessary for sustainable digital acceleration. It is the final, critical layer of architecture that separates a chaotic AI experiment from a truly modernized, enterprise-grade cognitive infrastructure. Without it, your digital transformation is not an upgrade. It is an unmanaged liability waiting to trigger a massive corporate crisis. With it, you establish a resilient, intelligent foundation capable of adapting to the rapidly shifting landscape of modern global commerce. Let us quickly recap the rigorous architectural journey we have successfully completed throughout this comprehensive 6-part enterprise masterclass. We began by deconstructing the fundamental mathematics of the transformer architecture and the critical shift from deterministic to probabilistic computing. We then architected retrieval-augmented generation and fine-tuning pipelines to securely ground these cognitive engines in your proprietary corporate data. We expanded the model's sensory perception, exploring how multimodal neural networks process complex vision, audio, and textual inputs simultaneously. We transformed passive software into active digital employees by orchestrating autonomous, multi-agent reasoning loops and secure API tool access. We scaled these systems using modular containerization, enforcing zero-trust security, and establishing strict algorithmic governance protocols. The era of the AI-augmented enterprise is here. The organizations that master this architecture will scale, while those who ignore it will become obsolete. Your absolute responsibility as technical leaders is to implement these advanced frameworks ethically, securely, and with an unwavering commitment to operational excellence. To finalize your infrastructure, I have published the complete algorithmic governance and AI compliance frameworks in the technical documentation below. Share this entire masterclass series with your engineering and executive teams to precisely align your corporate digital transformation strategy today. You now possess the academic foundation and practical architecture required to lead your industry into the next generation of intelligent computing. Subscribe to the channel, download the final GitHub repository linked below, and take your rightful place at the forefront of the AI vanguard.